Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost!
But every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time. Forget yourself now.
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
And listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And y'all better know what that means.
I know what it means. I finally know what it means.
What does it mean? I'm going to let
It
you
means,
go.
it means it's a new episode of Between Two Beards, but they got our names wrong. We're Noah and Mike.
That's true. This is now a Christian podcast.
Is it Noah, Mike, and
I've
Chad?
been told. Talk about waking up to some news, PLUGGO.
Yeah.
I was like, did I miss a meeting?
Yeah.
Did I miss a meeting or something? Excuse me. Now, I went to Catholic school, PLUGGO.
Yeah, we're a Christianity podcast now.
First through 8th grade, I went to Catholic school. St. Monica's, Methuen, Massachusetts. I didn't have a great time, but whatever. Yeah, cool. But that's where I went. So I wake up, I see a picture sent to me by this lovely fella here. And it says, Between Two Beards, Christianity podcast. Dustin, nailed it.
Hallelujah! It's
nailed it,
Between
brother.
Two
You nailed
Beards.
it, brother. You nailed
You
it.
did.
Sullivan is also here. How are you? How are you, friend?
I woke up this morning to that picture. I think Mrs. PLUGGO was up last night. She wasn't feeling great. And for some reason, she searched Between Two Beards on Google. And that's exactly what popped up on her phone. So for the uninitiated,
it's our photo.
It's our photo right there.
Yeah.
I should have pulled it up. I should have done a better job. It says that Between Two Beards is a Christianity podcast hosted by Mike Williams, Noah Henning, and Shad Taylor. We bring guests onto the show to share about. That's all I saw. But it is our faces, and that is, our new direction here at Between Two Beards. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Believe in what you want to believe, but that's definitely just not the. That's not what this is.
I feel like we should have been. Yeah, I just feel like I should have been looped in. I feel like I should have been looped in.
I feel like I should have been too.
I feel like I should have been.
I thought you did it.
No. But I was just like, all right, well, there we are.
Well, now I'm curious though on if there's an actual Between Two Beards. Page.
Way to go, PLUGGO.
That's because I was going to leave before she got home.
Wow, she's on the street now. She's on the street.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Leaving your wife out there on the street.
I had every intention of.
My God.
Praise be brothers in Christ.
He wanted to get that quote off the thing quick. You see that? You see that quick draw? I might be okay. I think.
Listen, if you
I might
guys
be
want
okay. I
to,
think I could hang a few rounds. I think I could hang a few rounds.
you guys want to send money in the super chat offering
He
plate.
left room for Jesus. He left room for Jesus. It's true.
If you guys want
It's
to
true.
submit money to the offering plate, that is super chat.
Can everybody here do me a favor if you haven't already?
Give me an
You
amen.
smash that like button
Yes.
on YouTube. Smash that. Share it out. Get all your friends. Get your brothers in Christ. Get your sisters and wherever. Get all your friends. Tell them to smash the button.
Tell them to come on
Tell them
by.
to just go over there and just do a little clicky, just a little tap on that.
The band hasn't even
like
started
button.
yet.
I mean, come on. Well, you know what it is. You know what it is. That's when Jesus, Mary was told about Jesus.
What is
By
immaculate?
God.
Yes, that is.
Depending on what you believe. There's a million religions.
There's plenty of single parents out there that believe in immaculate.
I went to Catholic school, first through eight,
Yeah.
Catholic school. That was me. So
Yeah.
I had to go to mass once a week as part of the school. I'm telling you, I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
Deacon Batista. Can I get an amen from Deacon
It's
Batista?
true.
That is
Sullivan's been ready. Sullivan's been like, I've been waiting for these two to go the way of the Lord. He's coming out. He's coming out. He's got the facts. He does.
That wasn't good how I wanted to start tonight's show, but that's a perfect way to start. Is that we're just a new podcast, new reborn. We're we're born again Christians.
No, I mean, I think I'm all right. I'm chilling. I think we're gonna stick to wrestling. We're gonna stick to wrestling, sports, potpourri.
Okay. Well, then my opening question for tonight's opening segment of Between Two Beards that I was thinking about this.
Sullivan, I was going down there long before answering that question wrong.
You got it wrong. You going to hell. We're going to hell.
Down there
We'll see you.
But,
And the YouTube hell is not a curse word. It's a place.
You said you got a question for me.
Yeah, I got a question. I was sitting there thinking about this pre-show.
Oh, Reese, you all right?
Reese,
Christian, great wrestler, father of the year for sure. That is true.
That's right. That's
That
right.
is
We
true.
are.
Can I tell you? It's like they started.
Could you do a podcast called Christianity and just be all about Christian Cage? Probably could.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could get away with that.
Lazy bum.
I think you could get it. Well, first of all, can you talk about how the people at Dynamite and AEW were like, "Hey, let's create a tag team for this guy, JBJ, Hangman, and Christian Cage." Last night, I was like, "Oh,
yeah, that's right up your alley."
Like, oh, baby, look at that! I loved it. But you said you got a question for me.
Yeah, so I was sitting there literally minutes before the show. Minutes, and
Thursday's wrestling. I need a day 2 update from the wrestling club at some point after this.
Oh, wrestling night. Yeah, did not go as well tonight.
Oh no, he's already done with it. He's already
no, I don't know. His listening ears just aren't working today.
He's having a rough one.
He's having a rough day, which affected wrestling update, which affected wrestling tonight, which was not a good time. So we'll see if he can pull through. But we'll see. But tonight was more about. So the coach likes to say something like "strong minds." He go like "strong minds," and that it focuses in. He did not have a strong mind today. So
got it. Hey, some days are those days.
He's 6. He's struggled a little bit. That's okay. We're not here to talk about wrestling journey.
I'll give him a talk.
On the AEW roster, outside of MJF, you can't pick MJF.
Yes.
Which one is most likely to beat up Santa Claus? That's the question I was thinking about before the show.
Okay.
Like Santa Claus just walking backstage. Okay. Which one? Who's popping him? You can't pick MJF because that's easy. MJF hates everybody.
It's fair.
In the chat, let us know who you think is most likely to beat up Santa Claus on the AEW roster. Because that AEW roster, the reason I bring up AEW specific is very heel heavy.
That's fair.
Lot to choose from.
That's fair.
Was Santa a good dad?
I mean, I could see Moxley giving him the plastic bag. To be honest,
I feel like Moxley though would be like, you know what? I'm gonna let Santa slide.
He probably would.
He's got a little, maybe.
But I mean, would you be shocked though? I think Jack Perry right now. I think Jack Perry could.
Jack Perry's just laying into.
Could fight Santa. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else.
There's such a big week of wrestling.
We already mentioned him, but I mean Christian Cage for sure.
That's what I say. This is I know in the Tim Allen iteration of the Santa Claus, Charlie in the later movies didn't think he was a great dad, but was the OG Santa a good dad?
Oh, that's a good one from Dustin. He's saying Okada and the Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
I think any of the elite, any of the elite would make it work. All right. Wow, that was the question, huh?
Which AEW roster member?
I like it.
I have a problem. I have a problem.
Why do you have a problem?
Because I'm just ridiculous. But see, yeah, I didn't even come up with an answer, but I could see MVP whacking him with that cane.
That's fair.
The Hurt Business.
I'm trying to think of like who. Yeah, but I mean, if you're attacking Santa Claus, though,
that's what I'm saying.
You're like
Hangman.
I mean, if Santa crossed him, yeah. I mean, he's a psycho. He's a psycho. I love that man.
Yeah.
I love that man. He is. Yeah. It has to be a heel to the point where like you're not just like. See, when I look at the Hurt Business, right? They're heels, but they're like powerful, strong heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need to beat up Santa. They're powerful, strong heels. True. Their point is proven. If you're beating up Santa, you're a shithead. So it really needs to be a shithead heel, like Don Callis would have Santa beat up. You know what I mean?
You'd have Takesh to take him out.
Yeah, somebody.
Fletcher maybe to prove a point. Because Fletcher absolutely would.
So I feel like it would have to be like a scumbag heel, and you said MJF can't do it. He would be the guy. Because
I have a feeling we're heading into the holiday season. We are in full swing of the holiday season, and I have a feeling that there will be an appearance by Santa Claus on an episode of Dynamite. And I feel like so? I'm calling my shot now.
Okay.
There will be a Santa Claus on some episode of Dynamite or Collision, and a wrestler will beat him up. That is just where I don't have any inside information. I haven't been talking to SRS. No. I just have this inkling.
What about Lance Archer? If I could throw a curveball at you from the Callis family, like a Lance Archer type.
Only Philadelphia Eagles fans beat up Santa Claus. That's their gig. That is true. But I'm talking, what if it was an AEW wrestler, Scott? No.
True.
Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
That is also a factual statement.
So they'll probably move said episode, I would imagine. And
I don't think you have to
pre-tape it, but you could. I don't think you're going to put it live on Christmas Day.
No, it wouldn't be live. You pre-tape it, but I think you show it. Why not? NBA, you have 24 hours. Well, NBA basketball takes over TNT though.
It's across all the channels, I thought. ESPN.
I thought NBA was done with TNT as of last year. I thought they're not.
No, they have one more year at least. They might have another. Yeah, they have one more year. This is it.
I mean, I would. What are you gonna do? You're gonna move it to Christmas Eve and go head to head with NXT?
I don't know what you do that day.
Yeah, I don't know. What was that?
And then Logan James saying he's just surprised that next week, and that's the other thing. That's a perfect segue off of the. If you still want to talk about AEW, or if you want to talk about WWE people beating up Santa Claus, whoever you think is fine. I just was sitting there thinking somebody is going to be in a Santa suit this wrestling season and get beat up.
Someone in Santa's getting beat up.
Somebody's getting beat up. But that's a great segment. Segue. Spoilers. How do you feel about
it? There are spoilers.
How do you feel about it?
I usually stay away from them. I'm not one of those people that I don't want to say there's luck involved. I don't know. I'm just pretty good at avoiding spoilers. Like there's certain TV shows that I still haven't finished yet, and I haven't finished them for a while, and I still don't know what happens.
Yeah,
I still don't. I avoid the wrestling spoilers because I want to take it in as I would take it in. Like I know they're out there for next week. I know people already know who the fifth guys are on this. I don't know if
we're operating as if we don't, because I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
We talked about it last week. I was live tweeting that Dominic Mysterio should have won that match on Monday.
Yes.
And everybody's like, you realize this is pre-recorded and he lost. And I'm like, no, I didn't realize that. It's been a very hot topic in the wrestling community. People are anti-spoilers. I get it. I don't mind if my wrestling gets spoiled because, like, let me rephrase that. I don't mind if, like, Raw's on and everybody talks about it. I didn't watch it till Tuesday, but I saw what happened. I don't care.
Yeah,
this is the people in the arena know what happens next week. And again, the WWE's giving their talent time off. They got a big weekend with Survivor Series coming up. It's good for the talent. It's good for the business. But yeah, it does suck, and it does make. Are you less likely to watch now if it were to get spoiled for you?
I mean, if I knew everything that was happening, yeah, I would. I mean, I would still watch it. But if something came up, or I had an opportunity to do something, or whatever, I might think about it more or go do it. You know what I mean? But
like if you had church,
yeah, you know. Yeah,
fair.
Got to get back to that. You got to start fitting that in the schedule now. Damn it.
Yes.
Oh,
I would like to know who's in charge of Google. Get that fixed for us.
I don't know. Well, maybe
it was a glitch. I don't know.
Maybe
I mean,
I'm a legitimate podcast.
I'm assuming that. I mean, it's not. I love
who was around first. Can we sue them?
I don't know.
How does that work?
I did once upon a time when I scrolled. There was one random between two beards thing that lasted
Maybe
like
it
a
was
few
them.
Back in the day. Could have been them. I don't know.
Maybe it was.
But
them.
it was a long time ago, and they don't do things anymore. So. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the fifth men are. I saw the rumors, the reports, because I posted about it, and then people are like, "Oh, wait till you see and it's like,
here's my deal. Why the hell did there need to be 5 guys?
That was where I was going to go.
That's my problem with it. I'm not gonna care about who these 5th people are as long as it's not Cody. Keep Cody the hell away from it. But as long as it's not Cody, I don't care who the 5th people are, because my opinion is there shouldn't be 5th people at all. Why a week and a half or 2 weeks before Survivor Series are we throwing random people or another feud in the middle? The bloodline has been the most important thing in WWE for half a decade, or approaching half a decade at this moment. 4+ years.
Yeah.
Why are we intervening with other people? I don't care about past allegiances. I don't care about anything. And I get it. The War Games is usually 5-on-5. Well, guess what? The Bloodline story, a little different. I think they could survive with 4-on-4. Nobody is going to care about these 5th guys.
Unless they're family members, right?
But
even then, it's too soon to. Yeah, I don't know.
That's my main issue. Not who they're going to be, not who it's going to be. My main issue is they shouldn't be there at all. Yeah. It's like, bloodline versus bloodline. Why do we need other people? No. It's stupid. Just to have 5-on-5, who gives a shit? Honestly, who gives a shit?
Well, yeah, I thought
we're going to have a women's one that's going to be 5-on-5. Who cares if this is 4-on-4?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They did a good job on Monday, I think, with like the recruiting thing. Like, it's corny, but I like the way they did it. But I was sitting there optically going, why would Braun Breaker? I mean, yeah, he's a badass.
And look, I like that too. I thought it was cool.
But does Braun Breaker have any business in this thing?
No. And like even the cool, like I thought the Seth, and he's on the thumbnail.
Yeah, he is.
I thought the Seth Rollins stuff was cool. Like, I liked Sammy going up to them and them having that conversation. And then I liked what he did with Solo in the old bloodline. And I haven't read the spoilers. But you know what I think's going to happen, Pluggo, is because he called Solo a wannabe Roman Reigns, next week we're having, according to Adam Pearce, the last match between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, because he's done with it. He gave him what he wanted. That's it, the last one. Are we going to be shocked if Solo and the Bloodline get involved and cost Seth that match? Because Seth, I have not read the spoilers. I was told who the 5th guys are, but I have not read the spoilers.
Listen, I'm operating in this moment. Seth Rollins my man.
Yeah.
As of today, all I know is that he stood on business and he said, listen, I ain't siding with either one of you fools because of all the bullshit that you've been doing for the last 4 years. And I still remember all that shit, unlike my man Cody, who was like, I'll come team with you, Roman. We'll be friends.
Yeah.
My man Seth, and I know he's going to break my heart on Monday and probably join one of the teams, and I'm going to be crying up a river, and I'm going to be mad about it. But in this moment right now, because it has not officially aired on my television screen, Seth Rollins is a real one.
Can we continue to go on about this? Because you just said
what?
You just said something in that little rant that you just did right there. You said he's standing on business. He's not going what Cody did, like, I'm coming to help you. Can I say that the other 3 members of the bloodline have also looked like nerds in this?
Which bloodline?
The Roman's bloodline.
Okay.
I understand Jimmy. I don't have a problem with Jimmy because Roman didn't kick Jimmy out of the bloodline. That was Solo. But Jay and Sammy got treated like absolute dog shit.
Oh,
especially Jay from Roman, and he still has not apologized. He still has not shown that he has learned a damn thing at all. He's still the same guy, talking about money, talking about titles, talking about big paychecks. He's the same guy. He has not apologized. He has not shown any growth. And yet Sammy and Jay are going out of their way to help this guy. Everybody is going out of their way to help this guy, and he has shown no remorse, and it bothers me.
I will say, at least for Jay, he's not, backing down anymore. And he's like, you ain't gonna talk,
Fair.
But I agree.
At the end of the show, he went out there and saved them.
Oh, I know.
So is he?
I don't know. Yeah, Roman is still Roman. Roman is doing the Roman stuff. Dustin wants to know, 5th members aside, just curious how many moves will we see Jacob do from the top of the cage?
I think Jacob will be the guy that goes.
The over-under, I'll set it at 2.5.
I do think Jacob will be the fellow that goes off the top of the cage. I would bet on it. And I would bet as much money as you possibly can that Roman Reigns will go nowhere near the top of that cage. But
wouldn't that be wild if that
would be insane if it was him?
Yeah,
it would never be. It would never be.
Yeah, that would be.
Listen. The match is going to rule, no matter who the 5th guys are. The match is going to be great. It's bloodline versus bloodline. Like, this is still what I wanted, what we all wanted. I just do not understand. They should have taken more time getting the gang back together, because it feels like Sammy started saying, like, no, I want you to apologize to him, not to me, but to him. And then Roman just turned into dickhead Roman again. I'm sorry I let you waste my time with this. And then he's giving both Usos shit in the back, telling them to piss off.
You know how hard it was?
And then an hour later, they're fucking running out there. Oh, Roman, we're here to help. No, I would have said, you know what should have happened is once that happened, Roman should have got his ass beat 4-on-1 with nobody coming out and helping him. And then tomorrow night, he should have been humbled a little bit and apologized and said, hey, all right, I need you guys.
You know how hard it was for Sammy to join the bloodline in the original version, and now they're just like, hey, everybody, come hang out with us.
Like, that's what should have happened. And I thought they were going to go that way after he told everyone to screw. I was like, okay. Roman's going to get his. It's still, I would rather him just do it from the jump. Why do you have to get the shit kicked out of you? Yeah. But whatever. But I was like, oh, all right, maybe they'll get there anyway. And then they just didn't. They just came out and helped them anyway. Come on.
I agree.
What is he learning? What is Roman Reigns learning here? Because it's nothing.
He has no growth. That man has made no growth. Here at the Between Two Beers Christianity podcast, we're all about internal growth and retrospect. And,
Correct. This is how we get through life, is by growing, PLUGGO.
Yes, not correct. But yeah, so I mean, I get it. So everybody that knows, and if you know, whatever, you may tell me, you may not. I don't know at some point, but whoever the fifth members are, it just doesn't feel like it's gonna vibe the way that we wanted it to vibe, because it's just gonna be guys that don't really like. Sure, they have a thing, but they don't not have a full. It's not bloodline stuff. New brunch gimmick show coming to love Sunday. Slamming sermon, beards and blessings. Oh my gosh. We need a killer intro.
We'll have somebody else read that. We'll have somebody else read the title when we start that show.
That's tough. Sunday
sermon slam, beards and blessings.
Beards and blessings for everyone.
I was frantically looking for like a paper towel and an all black shirt that I could, but I didn't want to get in trouble. I feel like you could get in trouble by impersonating.
May the beards bless you.
Yeah.
May they bless me. Or however you do it. Oh.
Instead of communion, we give them like a beard oil or something. We just go.
Yeah, go. And then go.
Thanks,
we rub it in your face.
Beep. All right.
Yes.
And then, all right. So they decided.
Instead of Ash Wednesday, we have Stash Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I like it. So they announced they're still doing the fifth guys, and I'm just like, ugh. And then I'm watching Raw, and about halfway through Raw, I remember they show a highlight package of what happened on SmackDown, and I thought SmackDown was very eventful. Last week's SmackDown, obviously we had the Bloodline doing the Roman Bloodline doing the pose where they're all seem to be back together again.
Yeah.
But earlier in the night, we had Kevin Owens give Randy Orton a pile driver.
Yeah.
And which I thought commentary and the whole company, I thought the whole scene was done perfectly.
You would think Randy Orton was dead.
That's how they made it feel. That's
why this move is banned.
I know our girl Ella Jay was in attendance, and Randy is her dude, so I'm sure she was just a mess, to be honest with you. We haven't talked to her since, but I'm sure she was a mess. But a pile driver, and they're yelling, Cole's yelling, it's a banned move and all this stuff. And, they do the stretcher thing. They're like, Kevin Owens is actually showing remorse, like in his, like, he looked like, and I thought it was very well done. And so then I flip back to Raw, they show that, and I go, damn it. And I go, and in my brain, I was like, it's going to be Cody and KO are going to be the fifth guys. And I'm going to hate everything in history.
Drew says Triple H is a stickler for tradition. The War Games was going to be 5-on-5. Going to stay,
Well, it's stupid. It's stupid. Tell me it's not. It's stupid. In this scenario.
Yes, this should be special.
This has been a story they've been telling for 4 years. Why are we throwing something new?
I love you, Drew. But if Triple H was truly a stickler for tradition, it would have just been a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Boom, roasted. Just kidding, Drew. I love you. And War Games rules. Yeah.
I love Drew too. I'm not getting on Drew there.
I was just being a dick.
I know.
I love Drew.
I know. So
don't follow Drew anywhere.
He'll tell you that. He'll tell you that. That's not us slandering that. He'll tell you that.
He'll tell you that.
But I did want to talk about, so do we think at Survivor Series, so now they've written Randy off for a little bit. They said he's out indefinitely, all this stuff, right? They sold that to the gills. So now at Survivor Series, it's going to be Cody and KO again, right? Because Cody was there. He showed up. He got in the ambulance to go with Randy. So now it's going to be Cody and KO again, and Cody's going to be like, I'm doing it for my friend, and then Randy's going to come back and turn on Cody, right?
That's what I was going to say, like, is he out indefinitely? This is just an oversell, and he's just going to show up? And
yes.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah, and then maybe Randy in a weird way is like, hey, this is my battle. I don't need you to fight it for me.
No, I think Randy's going to look at Cody and say, if it wasn't for you, none of this would fucking happen.
Well, that I don't need you to fight Kevin for me. I can handle it myself.
Oh yeah.
Because of that, I go back to the Triple H interaction where Trips is like, I'm trying to protect you. And he's like, I don't need you to protect me from Kevin Owens. I've been in this business for blah blah blah. I don't, he's got that. He's in the stage of his career, Randy, that is, where he's the old veteran now. That's like, I could still go like I'm, was 20 years old. He's still got that because he's the Viper. That's a hard mantra to lose. You know what I mean? As you get older, like, could you imagine like a 70-year-old Viper just strolling out there, still wrestling King of the Ring bangers? That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't know, but yeah, if it's Cody, I'm gonna be furious if that is the spoiler. But you know what I mean?
I'm not telling you. I know. I'm not telling you. I'm playing.
But
you can't tell. You can't tell. You can't tell with me.
You're good.
You can't tell.
But my point is, like, if it was Cody and KO, I wouldn't jive. I'm not going to jive with anybody that's not part of this family. By the way, where the hell is Rikishi? You could sit on social media and talk shit all day and do your little podcast. Why aren't you showing up and setting these people straight? Why don't they do that?
I don't know. Maybe he's not invited.
Maybe
he's not invited. Maybe that's part of the reason why he's better. It's because he's not invited.
Could be. Dad didn't get invited to the cookout, but
sometimes that happens. I don't know anything about personal things. I try to stay out of the personal lives of people that I don't know. Like, even though I, watch them every week on television because it's my business. But I heard, not recently or anything, but I always heard that the Usos didn't really get along with him the best for the most of their life.
I don't know. I just meant I feel like, and then where's like the Samoan head table or something? Do something where it's but I mean, there's a hierarchy, right? Like, he's the quote unquote, like The Rock. Is The Rock going to be involved in this? There's all these. My point is, there's all these other things that they could do to make this a very truly bloodline family thing, and they're like, "Hey, Braun Breaker, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you got a minute of you got to have a minute of your time to talk about the solo bloodline?" It's like,
potentially,
just give me more of that, and let Braun Breaker do Braun Breaker things.
Yeah,
but if I'm Braun Breaker, I'm honored that you asked, but I don't. What do I have to gain from that?
Has nothing to do with anything. Dustin's saying Saturday night's main event is the last big. I don't know if they're officially going to refer to it as a PLE, but it is going to be. It's the last big event of the year, and there's none in January.
They're going to pull the. Oh, go ahead.
So he says a lot of time to the Rumble. Well, I think the thing in January is the first Netflix show. So they have the Saturday night's main event, then they're going to have the Netflix debut in January as a big deal, and then it's going to lead into the Rumble. So there's a lot of stuff. And
Saturday night's main event, I think, is going to be huge because it's going to be on NBC, and they're going to want to show value.
It's going to be a free on television paper like that. It is going to be a PLE, like a 4 or 5 match.
Because nothing worse than showing up on NBC in prime time and laying an egg.
Yeah, and they're just not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
So that's going to happen. Then the first Raw on Netflix, I believe, will have a World Heavyweight Championship match on it. John Cena will be on it. I think John Cena should be the first person to declare for the Royal Rumble on that show.
Do we want to? He already announced that his Royal Rumble, this will be his last one. He's going to compete.
Well, all right. So if he already did it. But I feel like he should. I feel like he'll be there.
Is he going to win it?
I think he should. Look, Pluggo, we talked about this a little bit last week. I'm already forming my WrestleMania card in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think John Cena should win the Royal Rumble.
Okay. I don't have any good counterpoint to that.
Right now, and it's early. What are we on? November 14th. What is it? November 14th? It's very early. But yes, I would have John Cena win the Royal Rumble.
As long as he doesn't win it from the one spot. I'll be okay.
I don't need that. I don't need that. But I would have right now, if I'm picking on the men's side of things, I would have Cena win the Rumble, and he beats Gunther to break the record for World Heavyweight Championships at WrestleMania. That's what I would do. But anyway, I do not have the pencil. I know Trips watches this show though, so
sure,
you're welcome. But that's what you do. And then you could have John have the belt for a couple months in the summer and just have some fire matches, wrestle a few different people here or there. We know we're going to get him for 30 dates or whatever it is. So
he's going to,
and then, he either loses the belt to somebody young, however you want to do it. And then you build to his last match at the end of the year against whoever that may be.
I wonder if he wants the championship on his fight. You know what I mean? Does he want
They
that?
want him to break the record. I think they want him to be the guy that has the record.
I think we all do.
Want him to be. And I'm sure There's a part of him that wants that too. How can that not be?
I mean,
How
he's
can that not
been the guy for the last 10 years that we're like, yeah, he's gonna
Longer than that.
And then like who right now is in that position outside of Randy?
Yeah.
Because the WWE is getting away, like they're doing longer reigns, man. All these reigns are long, and there's not quick changes. I mean, things could happen. Cody could maybe eventually creep up there, but you have to do a lot. He'd have to lose a lot. He doesn't lose.
Yeah. Well, I think Cody's going to lose the belt to Orton. I think Orton's going to beat him for that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And outside of Orton, there's no one close.
I mean, I would love to see KO do it.
KO's at 6 though, right? Is he at like 5 world championships? 4?
No.
3?
One.
Didn't he had the Universal?
That's it.
Didn't he didn't have the WWE championship at one point?
He won the Universal title. He had it, and then he lost it to
Yeah,
Goldberg, and that was it.
Who the hell was I thinking at 5? Seth? Probably Seth.
Seth is around there.
Seth's up there.
Roman
6,
has
6, yeah.
7.
But Roman's part-timer now. He's not going to wrestle full-time anymore. Yeah.
Look, they have people on the roster like Braun Breaker eventually will be one of those guys for sure.
Sure.
I think Gunther is a guy like that.
Well, the problem with Gunther is that he's so dominant that he holds championships forever.
Yeah.
He literally, when he loses, it's a big deal.
I think a guy that could be up there. I mean, Damian Priest, I would put in that discussion.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, I think is capable.
Not according to Dominic Mysterio.
I think give Dominic Mysterio 2 years, bro. Give Dominic Mysterio.
No,
2 more
Dominic
years,
Mysterio is like, I'm closer to world championships than you are, Finn.
Factually correct. Factually correct. Dustin says, JPJ and Drew touched this on firmly, but who is your prediction for who will be the first women's United States champion?
No,
I have a couple names.
I was going to say I missed firmly because I was at work, but I'm assuming you guys threw out Chelsea Green. Because
she is one of
rules.
the 2 names. She is one of the 2 names.
Okay.
I think.
I posted this question on socials the other day about who do we miss? You know, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Asuka. Now, if one of them came back around the time they wanted to do this, would you? Charlotte Flair being the first women's United States champion, she's got to be close to coming back, right?
Yeah, they said. I thought I heard November, so we're in there. We're in there. So,
but if you want to just talk who's on the roster right now, in the United States Championship is SmackDown side of things. Chelsea.
No, it's floating. It's going to be on Raw and SmackDown. They said both.
Okay.
At least that's how it seemed like it was presented, that they'll float.
Yeah, Chelsea Green, Raquel Rodriguez would be cool if you wanted to do that.
My second name is Naomi.
Naomi is a great idea, yeah. Naomi,
I got Chelsea Green and Naomi as kind of my leaders in the club. I was Baszler. That would be good too.
Baszler
would be good too. I would love Baszler.
I'm always pro Shayna Baszler winning anything.
Yep.
So that works for me.
Yeah.
If you wanted to throw Natalia a bone for all that she's done for the company, you could give her the first run.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be opposed to that just based on, hey, like, thank you for everything you've done. And I know that you're probably never sniffing a world title again. But I like it. I know some haters are like, too many belts. But this specific one, because we've always complained for years that the women only had one championship to go for. Then we got the tag titles, and we were like, okay, cool. But then even then, they were roping the women's tag titles in with the championship, so we still really only had one to go for. And now it'll be nice. It's working on NXT with Kalani Jordan. She's having really good matches down there. So yeah, I'm all for it. And I have to imagine like that division will pick up once you know, is that floating just between the main rosters then?
I believe when they debuted it,
I don't remember what he said.
I believe Michael Cole said it'll be on Raw and SmackDown. He specifically mentioned Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, Naomi's a great idea. Naomi would be good. Bianca, I mean, there's good talented women. Once Bianca Jade split, Bianca would be a nice shout. But Chelsea Green, Chelsea Green for sure. Mia Yim would be fun. There's a lot of good.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and that's the good thing about the belt. Now, what I wish they wouldn't have done is just made the same damn belt. Don't get me wrong. The white straps, beautiful. The white straps are the best straps. They're always going to look good in the white straps.
Yeah,
But like,
they're kind of
it's
lazy.
the same title as the men's title. It's the same thing, just with white straps. Like, give me a little bit different design, will you?
Yeah, they're
They
kind of
couldn't have. They couldn't have had a different design for that. Like, come on, man.
Well, the world titles look the same. The
Yeah,
WWE
like it
titles
doesn't need
look
to
the
be
same.
that way. Just the
The
white
o-
straps for the ladies and the black straps for the dudes.
The only
Don't
title
need
that looks out there is the Intercontinental one.
Yes. And now think about, since they added the blue with Jey Uso, think about how much that title pops now, because it's the only one that's friggin' different.
Yeah. And
Like,
it was
the belts should be different belts. Not
Yeah.
all of them, like, you know, whatever, but like, you want to keep the side belts, whatever, but like they should be different. But anyway. Yeah, but those were the two that stuck to my. Obviously, Chelsea Green, I think, is the first name coming out of a lot of people's mouths. She's earned it. She's been excellent since she's been back. Just the MVP, just does all the big crazy spots. She's been funny when she needs to be funny. She's been, whenever they needed someone to take care of something, fill in, you know, make someone look good, do this, do that. It's Chelsea, and she knocks it out of the park every time.
And what if they, like, you know, if they do a tournament to decide it, and she just
I'd be perfectly okay with the
tournament. Yeah, they do a tournament, and she just keeps having, like, you know, she sneaks out a big win. It's like the, you know, underdog story. She gets there, and she just, it would be fun. And it doesn't have to be long. It's Chelsea Green's character is not built to have long title reigns, and she's built to just like, oh, she won it, and then she might lose it in a month. She might lose it in a couple weeks, but I think it would be a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Former LPW alum Chelsea Green at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. That would be my choice. But I also think Naomi would be just an absolute dominant champion. And I envision, like, going into next year, like a Jordan Grace and Naomi feud for the Women's United, like kind of a throwback to TNA. And like, oh baby, let's go. Yeah, Jordan Grace. Looking in January, that's the rumor. Is her contract is? I don't even know if it's rumor or if it's whatever. I think it's real. But her contract is up in January. If she is not in the Royal Rumble and signed and on the main roster in WWE, what are we doing? What are we doing? She's already there, man. She's already there.
She's got to prove herself in that.
Like,
can we stop calling NXT a developmental brand?
It's not.
It's not anymore.
The roster in NXT is loaded with a lot of people that would succeed on the main roster right now. Right now.
Yeah.
They are loaded, and that's why the rumor came out earlier this week that starting in January, Raw and SmackDown potentially will be going to 3 hours, and there will be significant amounts of call-ups from NXT. That was the report. I know that makes people feel a certain way. We just got Raw back to 2 hours, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And now we're a couple months away. And I know the rumor of SmackDown going to 3 hours has been there since kind of the beginning of all this, like to replace Raw and things of that nature. But now the report that both shows potentially could be 3 hours. How does that make you feel?
I'm old, man. I will say this, SmackDown on a Friday night isn't as bad. I've been prone to stay up late on nights I don't have to work the next day. But 3 hours is still a slog, no matter how you shake it. And then I just know Mondays I work Tuesday morning, man. I got to go to bed, but I'll make it work. If it's good, if it's a good 3 hours, I'm fine with it. If it's not good, though, and listen, I know WWE's been cooking, and things have been going well, and more often than not, the shows hit than they miss. But when you do get into some of those lulls in the, like post Survivor Series into the Christmas, when you're having a 3 hour pre-tape show to give people time off, those are harder to watch when they're just trying to, but it'll be fine. I'm cool with that. 2 hour wrestling, please, Ryan. I agree. 2 hours is perfect for your weekly shows, I believe. And that because it goes by quicker, the paces are faster, but 3 hours is a lot. But you said TNA. You mentioned TNA.
Yeah.
You mentioned contracts expiring.
Oh, we diving into this right now, bro?
I mean, we can.
Because there was some news earlier today. Pluggo. Someone that we know,
that we love
here at Love Wrestling, who has wrestled with us here at Love Wrestling, who is
Yes.
a favorite of ours here at Love Wrestling.
Who prior to the show, I was literally gonna offer all of Spencer's money to have him sign here. Looks like
Speedball.
Speedball's done with TNA as of November 1st. And
That is the report. And
Our
people are
bu-
saying,
our buddy SRS is saying AEW.
yeah, I think that is a good spot for him.
He heard we were spending his money
Yeah,
trying to
he
get
heard,
Speed-
I heard my bank account being mentioned.
It was for a good cause, Spencer. We were trying to convince Speedball Mike Bailey to sign with LPW exclusive. I figured you had enough money in your bank account to make that happen. AEW, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a good spot. Like, where would all right? So if he's leaving TNA, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, would you obviously we're just gonna throw out the top two, right? It's gonna be what? It's gonna be AEW or probably going to NXT, correct? That's probably what we're looking at here for Speedball.
I would imagine.
Now, I think obviously Speedball is talented enough that he could go right to the main roster in WWE, but he would most likely go to NXT.
Yeah.
So, do I think he will be successful and be a star anywhere? Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, exactly. Like, we knew that you would approve. We knew that you would approve that statement, that bank statement. You would approve.
I was even willing to concede some firework usage just to make that happen.
I know it's been a while since we've had fireworks on this show,
Yes.
but yeah, we were willing to cut all, like, whatever we needed to do to ensure that could
It
possibly
worries
happen.
Mrs. Pluggo. It's not so much that Spencer hates it and it's a fun gimmick, but
Yeah.
Mrs. Pluggo's like, please don't burn my house down because
Yeah.
Fireworks inside are bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I think AEW is a perfect landing spot for Speedball. He's going to be able to have great Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Kyle Fletcher, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Swerve. You can, it's going to be ridiculous the amount of great matches that he is going to have with so many.
Could you imagine? And this is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, if they got the Continental Championship off of Okada and just made that like the Ricochet Speedball, like just go out and have fucking bangers for 20 minutes. Cause like the Okada gimmick now is that he doesn't want to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like they just made it a super workhorse. Like it'd be cool. I figured this is the reason he probably picked AEW.
Oh, Pluggo, did I lose you? Pluggo, I cannot hear you. Is that a me thing?
I don't know what happened.
I can hear you now. I can hear
you.
No,
it said the host muted my mic, and I was like, I don't know. But I think the reason, again, and I've said this in a few other people, Speedball does a lot of other things. He has like his own Friday night Speedballs and Fightertainments, and he likes to do the GCWs, and he likes to wrestle the indies and do, and I bet he can do that with AEW easier than he could if he was an NXT. But then again, I don't know. But good for him. We root for him no matter what. That was crazy that he.
Yeah, I hear you. So that was kind of. I think AEW. Happening.
I lost you there for a
What is
second.
happening? What is going on with this? Spencer all of a sudden shows up in the chat, and now our mics are getting muted. What's going on here?
Who's sabotaging this episode?
Is somebody sabotaging us? We're starting to talk about budgets and money.
Budgets and money.
What is going on here?
We're not the first program to get taken over this week. What's happening here?
No.
What
is going on right now?
The gimmick is that I don't push buttons.
I'm not pushing buttons either. What is going on? Spencer. Do we have is there somebody does somebody have the controls here?
I don't know.
What is happening?
Are you messing with me, man?
No, I swear my hands are up.
I'm talking about Speedball.
Hey there, Plugo and JPJ.
What is going on?
Over. We don't see Sue at this hour. What's happening here? What's going on?
Yo, someone's messing with something.
Did the Rads get to the control? The Rads
literally, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, if somebody was in here or doing stuff, we would be able to.
I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Now I'm not mute. What is going on here?
Sullivan says, should see if someone's backstage. Is somebody backstage?
No, we'd be able to see it. The higher power. Yeah, the higher power of what? Yeah, what is going on right now? I don't like to be solo. Get me off.
Whoa, whoa, what? We mentioned that we're a Christianity podcast now, and all hell has
is that
broken
what it is?
loose.
Is it that type of higher power? Or I thought we were talking a higher power.
Is John Moxley here?
That, yeah, something doing?
Is the Wyatt Six? Is this some Wyatt Six stuff? What's happening?
Is what?
Is everybody feeling the pressure? You feeling it? I'm taking over the superstation of Love Wrestling. Because this is how you take over a superstation. So, just wanted to really quickly say, you're always in it for the greater good. There's always a higher power. There's always somebody pulling the strings behind the curtain. Forever and ever and ever.
What the hell was that?
What the hell? What's that? Firmly Beards, baby. I'm surprised he didn't go with this.
Sean Ross Sapp, you little bitch. You thought that you could stop me?
What the hell was that about? That is
know.
my co-host
That's
from
your
Firmly Love
co-host,
Wrestling.
bro.
I did not know about this at all.
Hey, mine.
I did not know about this at all. Did we just get seized? Did Drew come in here and seize B2B?
Did your co-host go rogue and just put the flagship on notice? Like,
Well, he got access. He has access now, so he can do whatever he chooses.
oh, look at that. Who's going to loop me?
I can't believe that just happened.
So Drew just gets access. It just takes over. He said he could have.
He could have asked to just be on the show. We would have said yes.
Yeah,
We like Drew around. I can't believe it.
It was a good day for the Dodgers.
Good day, what's a good day?
It was. Ice Cube leading
Because
it
the
off.
Yankees lose.
You love saying it. It's unbelievable.
Could have went with that one too.
Oh,
But he
sweet,
did-
you hear that sweet nectar?
But he didn't.
You know what else the Yankees are going to lose? Juan Soto when he signs with the Red Sox, bitches. All
Ah,
right.
We can't
All
get
right.
back in. And then we got
All right.
the Godfather is taking over. And I thought Ryan Sullivan had
I did not expect that.
seriously. Yeah. Welcome in, Asian Joe, my guy, my brother in arms. What's up, man?
Wow. Well, god dang, man. Let me tell you.
Our resident Nebraska fan.
Cornhuskers, man.
They suck. Poor Asian Joe. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, you know. The quarterback's young, right? Freshman? He'll
Freshman.
be fine. He'll be all
He's
right.
hurt right now, too.
Did he get hurt? Is he out?
I don't know if he's out. He's hurt. He's dealing with some
Oh.
injuries, but he's all right.
Well, now that we were taking
That was when he signs with the Blue Jays. Now, Spencer, I saw when Juan Soto is in the Blue Jays sweepstakes, and I hate to say this to you and our buddy Big Bad Boris, but I was worried that like you guys are gonna get your heart broken Otani style.
They are.
Look,
They
they're
are.
good.
They are.
Do I gotta worry about that every week now?
I don't know. I would hope not.
Drew gets access, and all of a sudden he's the Moxley
Yeah.
of Love Wrestling. I mean,
Yeah.
there's worse things that could happen.
I have no problem with the Toronto Blue Jays at all. I have no dislike towards the Toronto Blue Jays at all, but Sullivan nailed it. No one wants to go. No one of that caliber is going to go play for the Toronto Blue Jays.
They
It's
might.
not. No, they won't. They won't. They will go to New York or they will go to LA.
Ooh, Asia Joe's
Most
going
likely.
to LA to watch them play USC. Wow, at the Coliseum. That's dope.
That's pretty dope. That's
I'll
pretty
look
dope.
on the TV.
That's pretty dope. I feel like Juan Soto is going to the visits in order of who he wants to go to the least. So the Blue Jays got the first visit out of respect, but he's not going there. Then it was Boston. He's not coming to us. And then it's the 2 New York teams. And then I think he's going to go to the Mets. I think he's going to go to the Mets. But if he goes to the Dodgers, I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be furious.
I'm going to love it.
I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be furious. But
I might have to take a Tuesday or Thursday morning off and just mess with Firmly now. I think we got beef now. But then I'm afraid
I had no idea that was happening. Don't throw me in there.
Hey, listen. If we're optically, if we're looking at this, he
was muting my shit too.
I mean, of course he was, because we got to
listen. No, that's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. I am not that type of fellow. I am not going to kick you and throw you through a barbershop window. I am not going to do that. That is not who I am.
I don't think either one of us could super kick each other through a barbershop
window. I can super kick your thigh.
Yeah, I got you. I'll give you a good
deep thigh bruise. Listen, you would have a deep thigh bruise, and that would be hard to work. It'd be hard to work.
I'd be all right. That's hard to work as it is now.
So I don't want to turn this into a baseball thing, but he visited the Red Sox, and everyone's saying the right shit. Like Jeff Passan, who I think is he's who I follow the most with baseball, Jeff Passan, and he's saying good thing. I'm just Juan Soto apparently grew up as a Red Sox fan because of Pedro and Manny and Ortiz. They had the visit there, and apparently Pedro and Ortiz were on the visit, and all the owners, all 7 of the triumphant group, including Theo, showed up. And I guess he has been a Red Sox fan his whole life. His favorite basketball team is the Celtics. I'm just okay, you can't. No. Well, yes. I want Juan Soto. If the Red Sox sign Juan Soto, I might streak. I think I've been so dead.
Dustin, do your best. JPJ's going streaking.
I have been. Bring your green hat. Yeah, bring your green hat. Come on. I have been so dead inside when it comes to the Red Sox because of the lack of. He got drafted by the Yankees, Scott. That's different. But I have been so. Dead inside because the owners have been so cheap and not wanting to spend anything.
Oh, dear God. Brian.
That even the thought of them floating this out, just as much as I want it to happen, I know in the back of my brain.
Are you going to record you streaking, or are you just going to streak?
No.
Then how do we know if it happened?
That's what you'll have to.
Dear Boston Red Sox, for the sake of this show, please sign Juan Soto just so we can hold him to.
I will be insufferable. If that happens. I don't. For the record, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to go to the Mets. I think he's going to go to the Mets.
I think we do need to know, Asian Joe, if the beards match the carpet.
I think he's going to go to the Mets. But anyway,
answer the question. The people want to know, JP.
No, they don't. They don't want to know, and only a certain select few get to know. All right, so that's who it is.
This is my friendly reminder that if you send a super chat, we must read it on the air and answer any questions that you give us.
That is a true statement. True statement.
And what's up, Eric? Eric's in the house.
Yeah.
You just did a podcast with Eric not too long ago. I did a podcast with Eric
a weeks ago. That was fun.
Good dude. Go check it out.
That was a lot of fun. Go check him out. That was fun. Yeah, he's an Oakland A's fan, so his team doesn't exist anymore. So
Tampa Bay is going to play all their games at Steinbrenner Field because of the hurricane.
Well, because the roof blew off in the hurricane.
Yeah, and it won't be able to get fixed until 2026. But they're not sure if they want to fix it because it costs.
They want a new stadium.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They did something with their insurance payments where now it would cost them $50 million to fix the stadium roof, but their lease is up by the time the stadium roof would be fixed.
Oh, yeah, so it's not worth it.
So it's okay, you're going to have to spend all that money for something that you might not even be in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway.
Who knows?
Anyway, speedball to AEW. All right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was going to go off because there are people around this area, PLUGGO.
Go for it.
that do not want the Red Sox to sign Juan Soto.
I know, I saw that guy.
And I'm sitting here going, what the hell are you smoking?
Well, you guys traded Mookie Betts, who is Asian Joe with us $5 super chat. Does the beard match the carpet? You have to answer now for the people, by the people, and I mean PLUGGO.
Oh, you have to answer. There you go.
No, he's asking for me, but I'll tell you right now, yeah, my beard matches my carpet.
I mean, see, you're asking if it matches this current color.
Yeah, it's the top. Yeah, it's the carpet. For the audio listeners at home, JPJ is shaking his hand in a so like it's getting there.
Yeah.
He needs a
I'm
little.
gonna be 40 next year. I'm gonna be a man.
Like
next year, I'm 40.
Yeah, my God, that dude's gonna get
That's
that dude's gonna get asked to retire at the end of this year. That's how bad they are.
Are they bad?
Yeah, they were supposed to be good. But Asian Joe, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat in regards to does the beard match the carpet?
Unbelievable.
If I
this
could,
is what I have to do.
If I could
this is
see
what I
my
have to
carpet,
do. I have to answer questions like that.
If I could see my carpet on a regular basis, I'd be able to answer.
All right.
Clearly.
See, this is why this is why we can't do this. This is why we can't do shit like this.
We're
Joe.
talking about upholstery,
Asian
dude.
Joe, this is
upholstery.
why we can't do shit like this.
Do you have a beard? Yes. Do you have carpet in your home? Yes. We're talking about beards and carpet.
Okay. Get the super chat off. We answered it. Get it off the screen. Thank you, Asian Joe.
It's a $5 super chat. We got to leave it up there. Get our money's worth.
I mean, it's been up there for a good 3 minutes right now. I think that's enough. It's good. It's not $1 a minute.
For Asian Joe, I do anything for Asian Joe.
Yeah, exactly. The hell are we doing?
Okay, Christian.
The hell are we doing?
We're trying to separate ourselves from the misinformation on Google.
Unbelievable.
Drew's master plan was to figure out if your beard matched your carpet.
Yeah. Drew's trying to take us out here so he can have me all to himself. I think that's what the plan is. That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't know what's going on.
Well, now that I know that
I'm just sitting here.
Now that I know you got a nice mixture going on there, there's
that
not
is
much
not
more.
True.
It's not much more
I haven't seen it for 13 years, PLUGGO. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh.
Speedball, Mike Bailey, AEW, huh?
Do you think his beard matches his carpet?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We still got to do a fucking hour. What the hell are we gonna do for an hour?
He said it's legally dead then.
Is it okay? Is it true? Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Is that a serious question?
What? No. Now we got a real super chat.
So does that mean it's legally dead?
I mean, it might as well be. But we're good. We're chilling. We're vibing. We have another super chat, PLUGGO, if you want to read that one.
We do have another super chat from Eric.
Yeah.
If you guys were in a baseball film, which would it be? Also, favorite movies of all time, baseball and non-baseball, and favorite war game match.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of the old war games matches that I've seen, but those aren't going to be any of my favorites. Oh.
First and foremost, thank you for the super chats, guys. That's awesome. It helps everything that we do here at Love Wrestling as a whole.
You could be in one baseball movie.
Angels in the Outfield. No.
Really? I mean, like, would you want to be in?
Well, I'd have like super. I don't know. Maybe no.
Like, are we baseball players in the movie?
I was thinking about like
anybody in the movie.
Yeah. Do we want to be anybody?
The Sandlot would have been dope.
The
Sandlot would have been dope if you were like one of the kids in the Sandlot. But that's a good one.
92 is the best war.
I mean, Bad News Bears would have also been a lot of fun. Bad News Bears, that would have been a good one. That would have been a good one. Major League.
Yeah, that'd have been cool to be in Major League. Be in that locker room.
Yeah. What about Rookie of the? Yeah,
Just-
you know,
Could you imagine being on that major league team and having a locker in between like Willie Mays Hayes and Rick Wild Thing Vaughn, and you got Parkman for the first half of the season, that just to be a fly in the wall there.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams making money.
Oh, Field
off
of Dreams.
those 10 guys.
You want a hot take? Field of
Dope.
Dreams, the most
Dope.
overrated
Oh,
baseball movie.
You and Mrs. Pluggo
Overrated.
Kick rock.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Overrated.
So good. She watched it with me one time and she was like, "What?" And I go, "This movie rules." Okay.
A League of Their Own is listen. A League of Their Own, for my money, I think is the best baseball movie. I think A League of Their Own is the best baseball movie.
So as long as my carpet doesn't fall out, Asian Joe.
What?
He says, "Look, A League of Their Own, if only to play baseball, wearing a skirt." And
Yeah, you'd be the Marla Hooch. They show you.
I would absolutely be the Marla Hooch.
What do you
There's
suggest?
Marla Hooch.
A lot of what a hitter. What a hitter.
What a hitter.
What do you suggest? A lot of night.
Hey,
games.
she ended up finding her a
Yeah,
man.
she found love.
She found love.
We all, you know,
Marla Hooch was an OG, dude.
Marla Hooch, man, what a hitter.
She could
What a hitter.
sing. Hey,
That
yeah,
movie is hysterical. John Lovitz is hysterical in that movie in his small role. John Lovitz. That is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks.
haven't even mentioned.
Well,
the best...
listen, The Sandlot is my favorite movie of all time.
What is Spencer's the best? Is this baseball movie or just talking movies?
Is he thinking Hardball with Keanu? That was a good one.
I would,
That
as
was
long
a
as
good
I'm
one. Sad.
as long
That one's real sad.
as
though.
long as I'm
Real
not
sad.
G baby, I'm good.
Oh,
I'll
come
be
on.
in
What I got to
Hardball.
bring that up for? I'm trying to avoid that shit. That's sad. That's a sad movie. The Hardball was good.
At least once every 6 months, I put on Hardball.
Wasn't there a baseball movie with David Spade and Napoleon Dynamite? And,
Benchwarmer?
Is that what it is?
The Benchwarmer?
Yeah. Remember that one?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that as an all-timer.
Oh, that's basketball, Eric. That's one of the all-time great movies of all time, basketball. So that's really not, that's more basketball than baseball. Like from like a sport playing aspect of it. But that basketball
What else?
is a great movie.
Favorite movies of all time? Mighty Ducks.
Fair.
That's it. War Games match. There was the one. Okay, because I don't know like the '92 War Games. I need to go back through the catalog and watch some of those older ones.
Basketball is not a baseball movie to me, though.
Yeah,
I don't view that as a baseball movie. It is a all-time great movie, but I don't view that as a baseball.
Moneyball's really good.
Moneyball's excellent.
Baseball movies in general are just really good.
Yeah,
like most of them, more often than not.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I realized this week? I haven't seen 8 Men Out.
Oh my God, that's one of the best.
I know. I don't know. I was like, it popped up on TikTok.
I haven't seen it in a long time. You know,
I popped it up on TikTok, and I was like, "What is that?" And
that
I was
is
like, "Oh
great a young John Cusack. Charlie Sheen's in that one too.
Yeah, I'll have to watch
John
that.
Cusack. That's a very, very good movie.
They say Hardball actually was surprisingly successful because of 9/11, and people needed a distraction.
I mean, I think Hardball's a good movie.
Also, Hardball was rated R initially. They had to dial it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Is he going to stash? Does he have a stash right now?
It's Movember, brother. What's up?
Hello.
The answer is basketball. The answer
it's not a baseball movie. It's not a baseball movie.
Of course, it's a baseball movie.
Not true.
Is it?
That is not a baseball. The sport they are playing involves shooting basketballs into a hoop. That's not a baseball movie.
Fucking matter.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing the merits.
Playing doesn't matter.
No, yes, it does. If you're asking me what the best baseball movie is, they need to be playing baseball.
Christmas movie. It doesn't matter.
No, that's a theme. That is different. That is different.
No,
I agree with Sullivan. It's a basketball movie.
The movie
well, first of all,
is about both basketball and baseball.
Well, yeah. First of all, it's about a fake sport that doesn't exist. First of all,
right. So you're
being honest,
that your initial premise is flawed.
No, because I was asked what the best baseball
it
movie
needs
is.
to fall into one of or both of
it doesn't
categories.
No, it doesn't need to fall into any category. It's a comedy about a fake sport.
No,
look, I am not here arguing the merits of quality of film. It is an all-time.
But you were arguing the
movie.
merits of the best baseball movie of all time.
Yes, and the sport that they are playing is not called baseball. It's called basketball, and
is
it's not a real sport.
On the premise of baseball.
Well, no, it's based on the premise of a made up sport that involves. Then they do nothing that.
Take it back. No.
Dustin, it was a good day today. You guys keep arguing, and I'll answer Dustin's question. It's a good day today, Dustin. I had to work. I had to.
It's just not a baseball movie. That's
get
all.
ready for Christmas.
The reason why I didn't mention it is because it's not a baseball movie.
It 100% is a baseball movie. And I'll take you one further. I'll double down on it being a baseball movie because baseball is all about teamwork and camaraderie.
But every sport is about teamwork and camaraderie.
No, that's not true. Have you ever watched the UFC? They fucking hate each
Well,
other.
you know what I mean. Every team sport. You need somewhat camaraderie in a football field. You need all team sports.
You don't always. Randy Moss didn't like a lot of his quarterbacks.
That's true.
There you go. Asian Joe is saying that basketball is the equivalent to kickball, which I agree.
I am not arguing the sport. I am arguing the movie. I am arguing the premise on which the movie is based.
And baseball is not it.
It is based on both basketball and baseball.
That is not the sport of baseball.
In basketball.
That is not the sport of baseball.
Scott,
yes,
I will put that on my to-do list, Scott.
Do they hit a baseball in basketball? do they throw the ball around and catch it and tag people?
Is the movie based on a premise of a game of baseball?
No, it could be anything that runs to bases. Then kickball. It could be any sport that runs to bases.
So then, my favorite cricket movie of all time is basketball.
Basketball is more towards cricket than baseball.
Oh,
there it is.
Did you kick him out?
No, he did that on his own. I would not.
I wanted to ask him if the mustache matched the carpet.
Unbelievable.
If he hears this and he pops back in and answers.
Unbelievable.
Actually, baseball is one of the lowest teamwork sports. Oh, Sullivan coming in hot.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Another baseball movie that's great that we didn't mention, Bull Durham. Bull Durham is an excellent.
Bull Durham is good.
That is the again, I think Field of Dreams. I think Field of Dreams is overrated. So
now, would you rather be Nuke LaLoosh or Crash Davis in that movie?
I mean,
they both. I feel like they both win.
Yeah, they both end up with.
He gets to spend the summer with Susan Sarandon and then make a major.
And then he goes to the pros.
Yeah, but the Crash Davis just keeps. He gets to have like
he
one.
Falls in love for the rest of his life. You know?
But he has like one passionate night that drives to the next town.
Yeah, but Crash Davis was a good big league player for a long time.
No, he never made it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, you want to be the kid that goes to the pros. Duh.
He fell in love, had one passionate night, and drove off to chase the record. They never said that they stayed.
I thought
together.
he made it early in his career, but then
he made it for like 21 glorious days.
Yeah, so he did get a taste. He got a taste of the show.
Yeah, taste. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you'd be the young kid. You have the fling, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go be a pro now. See you later.
Are we safe
to
put this back up on the
I think so. Jesus. People coming in here yelling at us tonight. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going
Welcome
on?
Welcome to Between Two Beards. You never know who's going to show up, what's going to happen. We had literally nothing planned today, and we've been taken over by some tyrant. And then basketball is a baseball movie, according to the boss, Spencer Love.
Not true. But factually not correct, Pluggo. I can't let it stand. Scott's saying the 1992 War Games matches.
Yeah, he's saying that I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Now I haven't watched it yet because admittedly I've been a little bit. We've had a weird schedule on the independent thing, so busy. But I heard Manser and them had a pretty good War Games match. The one where Allie turned on Effie. I haven't watched it all the way through. I just watched the turning part, but I heard that was a good one. But that's probably not what we're talking about here. But War Games is fun. The one where Tommaso Ciampa did the air raid crash off the top
to Adam Cole.
That was epic as shit.
I do think the NXT War Games matches have been better than the main roster War Games matches. Like I specifically remember that one with the Undisputed Era against, Ciampa and crew. The KO showed up at that one, right? KO was the special guy on Ciampa's team.
Fourth guy, and then the awesome moment where Dakota Kai turned on.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
What's her name?
Tegan
Knox. Yeah,
that
was a cool moment. Oh yeah, Bull Durham or Sedona.
Yeah, 1992 is the Dangerous Alliance one with Paul Heyman and all that crew there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I remember that NXT one. That was a really good one. Look at I think and they're setting up the women's one. I think the end of Raw was them starting to set up the women's one.
Yeah.
where you have Naya and Tiffany, and then it's Raquel and Liv, and now it looks like it's Io with Bianca and Jade and whoever.
That was a vibe, right? Damage control dancing.
Yeah.
That was a weird because they're the tag team
Yeah.
champions. Y'all shouldn't like each other.
Yeah, 100%.
We need a Beards fan movie watch along. The only movie watch along we ever did on this channel was Cool Runnings. Spencer hated it because he's anti Cool Runnings. Hi, Mrs. Pluggo.
She's pissed at you, bro. You parked in the center of the
She
driveway.
is pissed at me for parking in the center of the driveway.
Yeah, dude, I told you. Pissed.
Well,
she had to park on the street.
She doesn't feel good today. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So,
pissed.
Yeah.
She didn't even see. I can hear her. I can hear her throwing things around. She's pissed.
No.
You see, you see Pluggo's worrisome eyes? Everyone can see it in the chat. He's got
Yeah,
worrisome eyes.
no.
She's like, she's pissed at me.
She's looking for
In
something.
the center of the driveway.
I did.
Fool.
Oh, I was supposed to. It is. I'm a bum.
Oh, let's relax. No one's saying that.
But I will say, yeah, we could do something like that. I know that we've already done it, but we could redo the baseball movie draft, and Spencer could take basketball.
He could take basketball #1 overall, and I'll be totally okay with him doing that. I'll be totally okay with him doing that. I love basketball. Great movie. He's gone now. I didn't get a chance to say anything. I was talking to the chat while you guys were arguing, but is his feelings on basketball more because he's Canadian or more about him? Is that a Canadian? It's like the Canadians as a scene just consider basketball to be a baseball movie, or is that just more Spencer love? I have no idea. I honestly don't know. All I know is that it is not a baseball movie. That's what I do know. That's the one thing I do know. Is that is not a baseball movie. And I will take that to the grave.
To the grave.
To the grave.
Anything else happen in the WWE side of things in the world of the WWE that we have?
Well, the New Day is breaking up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's
shout out to Xavier Woods though for rocking the Baron Corbin shirt. By the way.
Badass. But that happened on Raw. That whole thing didn't feel great. Oh, Xavier Woods trying to cheat to win for Kofi. Now he got angry, and then Xavier Woods, not good, man. Not good. They're dedicating a whole Raw to the 10-year anniversary, which tells me it's happening, dude.
Yeah,
it's happening on that night. It's happening.
Initially I was like, man, they're dragging this thing out, but I think as I watch it progress, they're doing it in a really well. It's a really well done thing, and I think that it should be something that these guys don't just up and break up because there is 10 years there. It's you know what I mean? If you were in a relationship for 10 years, it's probably harder to, leave somebody than it would be if it was like a 2-week thing. So the fact that they're still struggling with it, they're doing a good job. It's going to happen. I'm going to cry. RIP to the New Day. But,
Yeah. It's going to be, I wonder if they'll get Big E involved at all. Especially after things go down.
Could you imagine if like Xavier Woods, like they get Big E involved, they do a celebration type thing, and then like Xavier Woods just for super kicked Kofi in front of Big E and Big E's reaction? That would be an amazing moment of all time. So because Big E, you can't do anything about it. And he'd just be sit there just completely shocked, and Woods just walks off. I still think it might be Kofi. I still think it might be Kofi because I think that they're leaning so heavily into Woods doing all the stuff. I think Kofi just gets fed up and goes, "This is not what I'm about." And he doesn't necessarily turn heel. He just ends the friendship and goes off. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, he's not turning heel and gonna become a piece of shit heel. He's just like, I'm done with this dude. Yeah. Like, and then Woods gets to be the heel. Kofi gets to be the face. But it's Woods or Kofi that gets fed up, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Dustin is like, do you think this leads to a match? I think at Survivor Series, because it's going to happen at the 10th anniversary, right? Which I don't think they said the end of the month. So I assume that's going to be the go-home show of Survivor Series, right? That's all we can do. What's going on? What happened? Is your wife yelling at you? What happened?
Just I'll make it. What? Dustin.
Oh, he gave the clip of me saying I'm going to streak or something.
No.
Give you some. Did he give you
Hold
something?
on. Just keep
Um,
doing your thing. I'll
here we go. Here
load
we
it.
go.
I'll load it up.
Here we go.
Oh man.
But okay. So I don't know exactly when they announced that the 10-year. They keep on saying the end of the month. Well, the last Survivor Series of November is the go-home show of Survivor Series because that following Monday is December now. So it's either going to be the Survivor Series right after the first, I mean the Raw right after Survivor Series or the Raw right before. And I think either way, I think Saturday night's main event would be a good thing. I feel like once that happens, that's something you got to let breathe for a little bit. Like the turn happens and you don't have a match the next week. You let a couple weeks kind of do that. And then, I mean, Karrion Kross is kind of dealing with other things at the moment, Scott, with the Wyatts and kind of what happened with that on Monday and the Miz and how that goes. But yeah, Kross has never really circled back to this. Their ring debut was November 28th. So that's like a couple days right before Survivor Series. So it would have to be that Raw. It would have to be that Raw. Unless you're going to celebrate it after on December 1st or 2nd, like whatever you're going to do. But it would have to be that Raw.
It's got to be soon.
Yeah, I would think so. But when it happens, I mean, it's obviously going to lead to matches and stuff, but I think you got to let that breathe. I think you got to let that breathe.
What if it didn't?
We're all going to need a moment. We're all going to need a moment to, I think.
Yeah, we're going to need to process
let that happen. Let that settle. Let that settle. We're all going to need that moment. So, yeah. What else is going on? Well, so we got that going on. Damian Priest and Gunther are getting back involved with each other.
Yeah.
It looks like Finn Balor might not be having a great time in the Judgment Day anymore. He's getting a little fed up.
Sounds like Dominic's not having a good time with him in the Judgment Day either.
I think at some point next year, Dominic, we're getting that babyface Dom. We're getting that babyface Dom plug up.
I think so.
It's happening at some point next year. How can it not? How can it not?
That's true. That's true.
How can it not? I think the crowd would be into it. Well, earlier tonight, my Firmly Love Wrestling co-host
tried to derail our show.
Took over the show for a couple minutes. He was doing all sorts of stuff. He was seizing between two beards. So, I mean, we could talk about that. How did you feel about Jon Moxley seizing the TBS network last night? How'd that go for you? Do you think they did a good job of him seizing and taking over the network?
No.
Okay.
But I think what they did within the segment they gave him but he should have done the whole night. It should have been a thing that should have been longer, right? If you're going to tell me you're going to seize a network, seize the damn thing, right? Make that a whole episode revolving around the Death Riders.
Yeah,
right?
I would have liked that.
You know what I mean? It just felt like, okay, he did his thing.
They did what they did last night was no different than what they've been doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what they've been doing is showing up in the truck, beating up some innocent wrestlers in the back, saying a philosophical thing and getting the hell out of there. So if you're going to be promoting it for 3 or 4 days about they're taking over the network and they're seizing the network and things like that, it needs to be something different than it had. They did nothing different than what they just have been doing. It's not that I dislike. Well, first of all, one thing I did dislike is what the hell did JD Drake do to anybody? Why are you beating up him? What the heck did he do?
He's a workhorseman for AEW.
What the hell, guys?
But
leave JD Drake alone. That's not nice.
So if you head over to our Twitter right now, Dustin has made this.
Wow, that looks pretty good actually.
I look pretty good as Marla Hooch, dude.
Marla Hooch.
PLUGGO Hooch, baby.
Marla Hooch.
Dustin rules, man. I was like, why do we have a notification from the show? We're on live. It's Dustin. It's awesome.
Yeah. That was my only thing. What happened in the promo with Mox and OC? I had no problem. I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was good. first and foremost, leave JD Drake alone. Unnecessary. There's plenty of people you can beat the crap out of. Why you got to bother that guy? He's just working hard. Just there working hard, man.
Yeah, he's just trying
But
to make
also-
it, move up the card, get a title shot. You know,
But
I get
also, to me, it's like if you're going to promote it as something big and something different, it needs to be different. That was no different than any other promo we've seen these guys do in the last month.
it. Well, and here's the thing: if that's what you wanted to do, don't announce it.
Yeah.
Why would you announce he's seizing you? That's just a recipe for failure. Don't announce you're going to seize the station, and then you do it the way they did it, and you go, "Oh, that's like I hate to say it, but Retribution did a better job of seizing."
Wow. Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow.
Just like hit me with it because it's the same stuff that you're doing. Just hit if you're going to do that and you're going to announce it, you got to over deliver. He's got to take over. Like, I need to see just pure chaos throughout the night. I need to see like stylistically your show's different. Like you can't get certain things off video boards or you know what I mean? Like just something that goes, he's messed up the overall presentation of our show. He's messed up our money, yada, yada, yada. And they didn't do that. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
What did you actually seize, my guy?
Exactly.
Yeah. See, first of all,
your seizing needs to be a surprise. How do you announce that you're seizing a whole cable company?
Because if you're okay, and listen,
that is true. It's like you're gonna come take over TNT, and you're like, "Hey guys, just so you know, in 3 days on Wednesday, I'm coming to take over this company."
And you don't
Then
think
the
that
company's gonna
TNT
be like,
is
well,
security?
We're gonna call the cops and security, and we're gonna make sure you're not allowed in the building.
People take threats like that very serious in corporations like that.
Yeah.
If you tell them you got to do it by surprise.
Yeah, carpe diem, seize the day. Like Sullivan says, carpe diem.
Carpe diem, seize the carp.
Yeah,
name that movie.
Seize the what?
Carpe,
well, I know carpe. Yeah,
carpe diem.
Dead Poets Society.
Seize the carp.
That's not what you're thinking of, though. You're thinking
Out Cold. Remember that snowboarding movie with Zach Galifianakis?
I do actually.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Seize the carp.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You know. We're starting to get close. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Tony, you know, I love the ideas and I love the thoughts, but like sometimes the execution of them, it's like you got to realize what you're putting on. I know you're a promoter, but when you put seizing Superstation, like let's see some real shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the guy from Mallrats, Sullivan. Yep, with Jason London, right? Yep,
no, Jason London or Jason Lee?
No, Jason Lee was not in Out Cold. Jason London or something like that is the lead in Mallrats, and he was the lead in this Out Cold movie. He's also the kid from
football movie
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah, I got you. Dazed and Confused, man. Well, you want to talk about an all-timer. An all-timer, man.
True, said John Moxley should learn from him.
That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like it. And maybe I have to have Spencer restrict your access a little bit. You're gonna be pulling shit like that. But that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Well, speaking about
it's pretty
Jeremy
good, but
London,
don't ever do it.
Jason London was his brother.
Sorry,
his brother Jason was an actor though too. I thought they were brothers, right?
Maybe Jason's the one. They look similar. They look close.
I think they might have even been twin. I mean,
I'm not a movie, but I know Eric asked about favorite movies, but yeah, that would be.
I believe they were both actors, him and his brother. I believe. Well, speaking about AEW and sticking over with AEW, Full Gear is a week from Saturday, so next week we will be discussing Full Gear, I assume. In a little bit detail. And the card is shaping up a little bit. It's looking like we're going to be getting another real good show here. Like you got Osprey. I mean, we got Mox and OC. We got Swerve and Bobby Lashley. We got Mercedes Moné and Statlander. It looks like we're going to get Ricochet and Takeshita. It looks like we're going to get Darby versus somebody. We're getting Hangman and Jay White again. It looks like we're getting Will Ospreay and Fletcher. I mean, We're getting Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia.
These
Like
full
that-
gear cards are always ones that they
Yeah,
they've
like
always
it's lining up to be holy moly, you know? We're doing the 4-way tag match, which we have Private Party, the Outrunners, and we saw the House of Black beat FTR last night.
Yeah, I was gonna
in
say
the main
and,
event. That
and
was
not
awesome.
only beat him, like Brody choked him out.
I did not expect that to happen.
Ragdolled him.
I just thought FTR was gonna. I was like, oh, FTR is gonna win. Not that I have a problem. I mean, I love FTR, but I just went into that going, oh, this is another match that FTR is gonna win. But no, they went the other way, and I'm glad they did.
Yeah,
but that was good. And we're gonna be waiting on a fourth team to be thrown into that one.
Will that be next
Mariah
week, or
May-
is that going to be on Collision?
I think they're probably going to do that on Collision, right? I would assume because the Outrunners thing happened on Collision. They beat Top Flight on Collision.
Yeah.
And then obviously House of Black and FTR and Private Party are the champs. So we got to do a fourth team. Mariah May, is she fighting anybody currently? Is she in line to fight it? I know she was dealing with Anna Jay, but they fought on Collision last week. Is she kind of lined up for I know Mina Shirakawa just came back, so they could do something that way.
Do you like Harley Cameron? I never asked.
I was going to ask about it because I thought that was the segment of the night last night.
She's becoming one of my favorite people.
That was a fantastic segment.
Poor Renee, man.
Oh, I loved Renee in that too. And I thought the
poor
tweet that we
Renee.
sent out saying she was doing a Right to Censor tribute was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a great
Doing
tweet.
her best Ivory impression.
That segment last night was hysterical between Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa.
How many super chats would we need to get for you to do that?
Oh, there you go. How about that? Sullivan, just look at this. So Jason London was the London brother in Dazed and Confused, but Jeremy London was the dude in
Yes. Okay, because I said they look super similar, and I knew that they. Yeah.
So Jason must be a little older, or are they twins?
Yeah.
They look very similar. I think Jason's the
Jason-
older brother.
Jason's the older.
I want to say, unfortunately, did one of them pass away?
I don't.
Kind of want to.
I don't know. You have to ask Ryan
I don't
Sullivan.
know.
He's
I
our
don't
history.
know.
He's our history and
I don't
movie
know,
buff.
but I feel like that might have been one of those. But one of them. No, I know. Obviously, I'm not thinking about the Phoenixes. I know that story.
God, now I want to
but
watch.
I want to say maybe, or one of them. I don't know. But anyway.
somewhere around, and it might be at my parents' house. I have a giant Mallrat signed by Kevin Smith poster somewhere.
Dude, I love
the
twins.
The twins. Okay.
I love Kevin Smith movies.
Kevin Smith movies rule. I still have yet to watch Clerks 3 because I'm not ready for it, but I need. I
have not watched Clerks 3 yet either.
I need to get that out of the way because I
Is
heard
Mallrats your favorite? Oh, now we're going to talk about Kevin Smith movie. Whatever, fuck it. We're doing everywhere tonight. Let's talk about Kevin Smith. All right.
my favorite.
Yeah, if you had to rank your Kevin Smith movies.
Oof. That's tough.
Ooh.
I like the original Clerks. I think it's just the Mallrats is really good, but Dogma is fantastic. Dogma finally got the rights to it. Next year's the 25th anniversary. They're going to do a lot of stuff. Dogma is awesome. Clerks 2, I think is really good.
Clerks 2 is good. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Chasing Amy.
Amy's fantastic.
Really love.
Fantastic.
So I'd probably go Clerks, Chasing Amy, Mallrats. Jay and Silent Bob was in there. Dog was in. Jay and Silent Bob. The Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reboot was pretty good too.
I didn't see that one, but that first movie that summer that came out, I saw that multiple times in the theater. I was all about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That shit was hilarious. Yeah. Chasing Amy is very good. Chasing Amy is very, very good.
Don't make us go back to our home in California with tales of bigotry from the city or the state that is Utah.
Yeah. Those are all really, really good. Those are all really. Dogma is fantastic.
It's tough for me. It's tough for me to rank Kevin Smith movies because even the Evening with Kevin Smith, I would watch those. I'd watch that man talk about anything. Yeah. Now, some of the comic book things and stuff that he's done in that realm, I've never seen because that's not my vibe. But I just like the style of movie, the Chasing Amy's and the Mallrats and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Mallrats is so good.
Yeah, Mallrats is fantastic.
Yeah, I stink palmed him.
Yeah. Would you like a chocolate covered pretzel? Amazing. Just
Dogma though, needs to bring back movie tier rankings or start movie tier rankings. Yeah, we could.
I'd be down.
We could do some more tier rankings. I know right now we're heavy with the NFL one, but when the NFL season dies down, maybe we could do something.
I would. I am down to. I love lists. I love tiers. I love rankings. I love all that stuff.
We're here for you guys. We could do more, whatever you guys want. We do more stuff that way. That's fine with us. But yeah, Dogma is a classic. I wish I knew now what I knew back then. I would have kept my copy. I have it somewhere. I'm sure it's somewhere because I have all the movies. But yeah, Kevin Smith, he keeps putting out bangers in my opinion, and I'm okay with that. I just like that. That's my style. That's like that whole Seth Rogen crew with all those. I like movies where I can like where you're just making movies. That's why I always like Adam Sandler movies and stuff. Like, yeah, so we can talk all day about Sandler falling off and some of the movies aren't as good in the laters, but I just like them doing it with their friends, and it's just the Mallrats stuff. There's always a story intertwined with the other movies, and you can just it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to. That's why I like wrestling. It's all about universes, man. There was something else I wanted to talk about in the wrestling world, and I can't remember what it was.
You can't remember?
No, I know, right? I don't know.
Well, Kenny Omega and Gabe Kidd are going to fight. Apparently,
so
that's going on. It looks like Kenny Omega's return is going to be happening at New Japan.
Yeah.
Instead of AEW.
Is that a mistake?
I mean,
if you're AEW,
I mean, I don't know. I guess if they feel like they don't need him from a storyline standpoint until, I mean, in my opinion, if Kenny Omega is available, you bring him back the second he's available. And that's
right. And that's what I'm saying. You bring him back to New Japan.
Kenny Omega made himself in Japan. That's where he became who he was. That's where he, and in his interview, he had an interview today with SRS. It's a good interview. He says that, he feels like he owes a lot to Japan because of what it meant for him in his career of being there. So, I don't have a problem with him doing that.
But as an EVP, I know.
But I would want him to come back to my company that he wrestles for regularly.
Just because you need that, because if you're like, I guess you still could promote it as like the Kenny Omega return to Dynamite and it still will hit.
Yeah.
It's like, his first match is going to be, which is fine. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. I was wondering.
Yeah. So that's going to be happening. The Continental Classic they announced is coming back in a few weeks. That'll be good. We need a ladies one at some point, please. I think they're probably just going to do the one again this year with the men, but maybe next year, or maybe you can make it so maybe the men's one is fall through winter and it ends in spring, and then the women's one starts after Double or Nothing and goes through the summer and ends at you can.
Then Marina Shafir wins.
Fine. But I do think we need a women's Continental Classic.
Early predictions. Who do you think is going to win the Continental Classic? Not knowing anybody in the field, just gut.
Oh boy, yeah. I think you got to pick Will Ospreay. Has to be one of the favorites if he's in there.
Right.
Personally, oh my god, dude.
Daniel Garcia
could. Redemption from last year, absolutely.
Well,
I don't want it to be all the same guys from last year, though. I need different people in there this year as well.
But my thing
I would say Ricochet.
Ricochet would be good. My thing with Daniel Garcia is if you're going to build him up into this baby face, white meat baby face, savior of AEW, give him that big staple win. If you want to make this Continental Classic as important as you're trying to make it, why not give it to him? And you know what I mean? Then that way you can kind of also put some more accolades on him so that when we're watching it optically, we're like, that guy just went through the Continental Classic. I do believe he's going to put AEW back on his.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Powerhouse Hobbs. He just came back. I wouldn't mind him getting a good run in there.
Scott, I would love for you to expand on that more. It doesn't look comfortable wrestling.
I don't know what that means. That's why I didn't really. I don't know what that.
I'm curious. As long as you're
respectful. He's been injured a lot, but I mean, when he's been wrestling, he looks like he very much wrestles comfortably.
Yeah, I know he was dealing some stuff in his last few matches here. So, but
I'm trying to think of guys that was Hook in it last year.
I can't remember, but that would be
no. I would like to see a young guy get it. I would maybe throw a Nick Wayne in there and let him get a little bit of a rub.
Who won it last year? Because Swerve came close, right?
Eddie Kingston won it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
He beat
wow.
Daniel, right? He beat Danielson and then he beat Moxley in the finals. He beat Danielson in the semifinals, and then he beat Moxley in the finals. And then Okada beat him for the belt.
Yeah, because that was what it was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kingston won it last year.
Now listen, if you're signing Speedball, if that's true, throw him in there. He's ready. Let's go. Throw him in there in a couple
100%. I think Dustin just said Ricochet. I think Ricochet is a good choice. Obviously, if Ospreay's in the tournament, he has to be the betting favorite. I don't know how you can. He's won almost everything else he's been doing. I think Ospreay is one. I would love to see someone like Pac get in there and make a deep run. I think that would be good. And then I need some young guys. And I think Garcia is a good pull because really Daniel Garcia kind of being at the point now where he's clearly positioned as one of like the young gun baby faces.
Yeah.
That all kind of happened during the CC last year because he had that dramatic shift of character because he was losing a lot and he kind of became this likable guy because of the character he was creating during the CC. So like kind of a redemption, even though I think he's going to beat Jack Perry at Full Gear for that belt. So, but I think a redemption story in the CC for him would be fun. I would put Mark Briscoe in there.
Yeah. Brian Keith.
But Brian, you could do Big Bill. Like, again, I'm trying to think of the people that were in it last year and they had a lot of big names. Moxley, they had a lot of big people in there.
One.
I want this, not saying I don't want main eventers in there. I do.
Yeah.
But I want this to be, I want this to be more spread out, like through.
Yeah, you need
I
I
would put Kyle Fletcher in there, 100%.
Oh,
I would put Ospreay in there. I would put Ricochet. I would put, oh my God, there's so many people. I would put Malachi Black in there, although I would have them win the tag belts at Full Gear, but that's just me. I don't know. But the Continental Classic is exciting. That was a really good thing that they started last year, and I'm happy it's back. I just would like to see a women's one at some point. I think you can stagger them throughout the year where you can have them kind of going on.
The All Elite Continental Classic is a round robin tournament with 2 groups of 6, so there's 12 in it total, unless they expand.
Can you pull up the list of who was in it last year? It was Moxley, it was Swerve, it was Danielson, it was Kingston, it was Brody King, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, Eddie won. The runner-up was
Takeshita in there? Takeshita was in there last year? No?
We need like a producer.
What a thought. What a thought that a producer would do well. Hey, PLUGGO, pull it up. Yeah, we'll just but yeah, I think they got 12 dudes. I think you can make that. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Who would be your early prediction? You asked me. You think?
I was thinking Daniel Garcia. There was Mox, Strickland, Roosh, Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Jay White in the Gold League, and then in the Blue League it was Danielson, Brody King, Andrade, Claudio, Daniel Garcia was in it, Eddie Kingston.
All right. Yeah.
And Daniel Garcia only got 3 points last year, so this would be a good. He was outside of Briscoe and Lethal, who didn't get any points. He was the worst of the showing. But I don't need. I don't need Jay Lethal or Mark Briscoe.
No,
but if you want him,
no. I forgot Briscoe was in it last year. To be honest with you, so
Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do when they announce the participants, which I'm assuming they'll do.
Run it through. You want to run through?
We'll run through it. We'll rank them based on who we think is going to win and who's not. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Power rankings next week on Beard.
Love me some power rankings. Yeah, you would think. I wish they would already tell us who's in it, considering it's starting in 2 weeks. Like, just
that is a weird decision, by the way, to start it.
I would throw Shelton Benjamin in there as
the night before Thanksgiving, which traditionally has not been a good night for them.
That's when everybody's out partying. PLUGGO.
No, yeah, blackout.
One of the biggest drinking nights of the year. The night before.
And traditionally, it just doesn't work. Their ratings are really bad on those nights. So starting that, but maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you about? I mentioned it at not the beginning of the show, but right before. You do a fine, very good independent wrestling podcast here on Love Wrestling every weekend with Blair for Exposure.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's available on YouTube. They're usually either Saturday or Sunday. They go live at some point. So if you got those notifications, the bell going, you'll You'll see. I know they've
That
been doing a lot of
reminds
interviews
me.
and taping stuff.
Yeah, we have
the last couple of weeks.
The shoot
But
jobs are killing us.
So you do an independent show about independent wrestling. WWE just recently, within the last week or so, announced WWE ID, which is basically, it seems like, I'm not going to read it word for word, but it basically seems like WWE will go around the independents.
Yeah.
And if they ID anybody that they feel like they want to sign to I think it's some sort of like a prospect contract of sorts or whatever to train and kind of keep an eye on, they will do that, but they will be under the WWE umbrella, technically. That's the vibe that I get.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means they won't be able to go wrestling. I don't know the full details of everything, but that's the vibe I get. Obviously, this kind of sparked some debate. You have a lot of pro wrestlers coming out saying this is a really good thing. It gets independent wrestlers paid and, like, you know, maybe a chance to live their dream earlier than some had to go. And then you have the other side of it where some people in the independents are saying this is going to suck up the independents dry and take talent out of the independent scene and blah, blah, blah. I know the top independent wrestlers because I feel like I should, because they will be, you know, they'll go somewhere someday, and I watch some of their stuff online, but like, you are much more involved with independent wrestling and stuff like that. Like, what's your vibe of the like, what's your opinion of it? And then from the people like, you know, Blair or people you might have talked, like, what's the vibe you feel when it comes to this?
I don't know, based on, like, I haven't seen what one of the contracts looks like. Does it say, you know, like Marcus Mathers is one of them?
Well, I wanted to go through because there have been a good, and like, you know, I know I've talked about Chaotic Wrestling being local.
Like, I remember the WWE, like, they would have like, what was the, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name, where Theory came out of, and it was out in Evolve. Yeah, they had like ties to like feeder programs.
Yes.
Now they're signing, you know, if it gets the wrestler paid more, then I'm all for that for sure. Does that now mean like a Marcus Mathers or whoever else has been signed? Because you're seeing a lot of things floating around there on the internet that are not exactly true. But does that mean now that the WWE is going to say, hey, you can't go do X, Y, and Z? I don't know how.
That's the thing and I don't know if that's in the fine print. I just haven't read through it. You know, but
like, you can't go, like, the Nick Gage Invitationals this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the WWE is looking at deathmatch wrestlers as a viable option for the future? Probably not. But let's just say, like, one of them, like a Cardona, when he did that deathmatch, right? We didn't think he was a deathmatch guy. Let's say one of those guys wanted to test the waters. Is WWE going like, I wouldn't get involved in that? How much say do they have?
I mean, technically, Marshall Mathers is a GC. I know he doesn't do the death matches, but like, he's a GCW guy. Like, he's in that company.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, well, you know.
And I mean, is it a good thing overall? We'll wait to see. Will it dry up the independents? They're not going to sign all these people right away.
Well,
they're not going to go ahead and list them off, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, so the first one was Zeta Steel. She was the first one that was announced.
Yeah.
That was about a week ago. Bryce Donovan. This guy, I like his name. Cold Brew Cappuccino Jones.
Yeah, Cappuccino Jones. I love Steph DeLander's tweet that she's like, there ain't no way there's some dude named Cappuccino Jones.
Yeah, his finishing move is the Froggy Brew and the Decaffeinator. Oh, Pluggo. I tweeted on that, and I said, you never change his name. You never change his name. So Jack Cartwheel, he's now going by the name Jack Summit, but Jack Cartwheel was a big one.
Yeah, that's one.
That's a big one. That's another GCW guy that works for GCW a lot. Again, not a strictly deathmatch GCW guy, but a guy that works for GCW. He was a big one. Jack Cartwheel. Zara Zakur, probably said that wrong. That was another one. Sean Legacy. Sam Hardaway Holloway. Marcus Mathers, which you just said. And then
you know what this gives me vibes?
There was a guy, the last two that they announced were Ice Williams, who I believe is from the Booker T Reality of Wrestling company, Ice. Yep. And then there is a guy named It's Gal, who I have never heard of. And his tagline is, he's a real life action figure.
So Dustin's saying, I wonder if they're going to focus more on the ID program than the NIL deal. I think so. I think the NIL deal did wonders. I mean, Kalani Jordan's from there. She's killing it. But this gives me like, so you remember Billy Starks and Nick Wayne with AEW, where they weren't 18 yet.
Yeah.
But Nick Wayne pretty much was signed by AEW when he was 16, but he
Yeah.
still was. And Tony Khan's like, look, you've got a contract here. When we're ready, go do whatever you got to do. And then we'll circle back, like a promise. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like, are you, again, if you're, Zeta Steel, are you going to stop taking certain bookings? Maybe. Is it a guarantee that you're going to get signed? Because instead of bringing all these wrestlers that can wrestle and you think have promise to the Performance Center and just leaving them in there, now you slap this WWID sticker on them, let them go still work their craft out and do their thing. Maybe, I don't know. It's still young. It's early. I could see why certain independent people think it will drive the independents and it's a bad thing because it's a corporate entity kind of dipping their toe into something that was, that's always, you have your own feeder. If you want to sign these people, just sign them. But now you're like promising to sign them. You're signed them. They're more like prospects than anything. This is like, but you're using the independents as your, which is something they've always done.
Yeah.
Now they're just putting a name on it, right?
Yeah.
Like
And
it's always poached the indies back in the day.
Of course.
That's what you do, whether they say they were watching it or not. But now they're just saying, hey, listen, these people out in the independents, we do have an eye on. And they're trying to get first to market. They're trying to say, hey, Marcus, before you even consider AEW, we want to get into early. It's kind of like when a baseball player you sign a Jackson Churio for $200 million when he's 19, just hoping he pans out. You know what I'm saying? You're just getting in it early. I don't know. I have to wait and see and dive deeper into it. But
it's one of those things now where if you go to the WWE ID Twitter account, they're quote tweeting other independent shows and saying, "Oh, keep your eye," like Chaotic Wrestling, for example. They're the one that's local to me. They have a show tomorrow night. One of their big shows. It's called Breaking Point. That's one of their big yearly shows they do, and they pointed out they did their typical promotion tweet hey, Friday night and wherever, and WWE ID quote tweeted it, and they said, all eyes on Chaotic Wrestling this Friday. Someone has been ID'd. Be there to find out who. And then they also did this for Firestar Pro Wrestling. They did this for Beyond Wrestling. They've done this for Memphis Wrestling. So they're doing that and quote tweeting these other independent shows from across the country saying, hey, someone's been ID'd. Someone here potentially might be working for us. And you might see them on TV in a handful of years. Come to this show and see who it is.
Yeah, so it works out for Chaotic. You get more eyes. It works out for the fans.
I think it's going to be Richard Holiday because that man needs to be signed.
Is he on the card?
He's on the card.
He's on the
tomorrow
card.
night for Chaotic. He's on the card.
Yeah.
It should be him. That guy should be signed to a major company. That guy is excellent. I mean, there's a lot of people in Chaotic.
Yeah.
There's a handful that could make it. But Holiday he's good stuff.
And I'm sure that the people that are signing these WWID deals or whatever that may be are people that's what they want. That's their goal. That's where they want to be.
Yeah, I don't think
if you don't want to be in the WWE, that's not your goal, and you still want to do. You're not going to sign.
Yeah, I don't think WWE's holding anybody to the fire demanding they sign. But I think,
and I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just we've got people watching the landscape. We like this handful of people. Why don't we come up with some agreement and start? Because we, like Dustin said, they did the NIL thing. I don't know how much more they're going to lean into that, because it's been weird, right? They were all in on signing independent talent when they were competing with AEW. Then Vince stopped that and said, we're only going to create our own stars.
Mm-hmm.
Then they stopped that. Then they came up with this NIL deal. And it's a lot harder, I would imagine, and I actually talked about this with an independent wrestler not so long ago. It's probably harder to unlearn habits you learned on the indies when you come into the system.
Yep.
But then again, it's probably incredibly hard to take somebody that's never done it at all with any experience and throw them into this, throw NIL money at them, put them into the performance center and hope they stick. For all the Kalani Jordans of the world, I'm sure there was 10 to 15 that never made it. Like, where are the Cavender sisters?
Yeah.
Remember that? Where are the twins at? Did that not ever, you know what I mean? You put all that stock into them and I haven't seen a thing. I think they're playing basketball again. I think they're out. Right. So you can go, hey, we're just gonna use the indies and let them keep getting reps and let them keep getting better. And when the time is right, we'll bring them to the performance center and we will get them into our system and we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine overall though.
Yeah.
Overall, I right now it seems like a good thing because more eyes on independent wrestling is always a good thing. Sure, is it now becoming corporate? Yeah, but so is everything else.
Yeah. Dustin says
eighth grade basketball is a fucking corporate thing now, and
everything is. If they can make money out of it, they're going to make money out of it.
Exactly.
There was an announcement earlier tonight. Oh yeah, the Beyond Wrestling Open is happening in Massachusetts this week. Tonight was one of their shows, and apparently Aaron Rourke from Beyond Wrestling was ID'd. So they got even another one as we speak tonight. That is in Beyond. They've done some stuff that has not been the most kosher of things this year.
Let's be honest. Wouldn't it be take all these ID people and make one big independent super? So like I like the fact that the WWE or TKO or however you want to spin it is now going. There's more to the wrestling world than just our universe. Yeah. I do like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I like the idea of them saying like, "We see you," because it was It was always, this is our world. This is our world. Is so-and-so on the radar? Is it not? Now they're being like, yep, these people are on our radar. So do with that information what you want. I don't know what the contract looks like. I don't know how hard it would be to get out of it. I don't know if it's a mutual thing. I don't know if it's just a handshake agreement. I don't know. Well, I'll have to do my research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, look at if these people
want speaking of which, and you mentioned, and I meant to tell you this before we get out of here. You mentioned that for exposure and all the interviews, Paralira is actually mad that they've never been on Beards, and they didn't say that it was your fault. They put it on me, but yet they like you. They don't like me. So I don't know how we make that happen for them.
I mean, if you want me to reach out, I know they don't like you.
Right. That's why I was confused that they were.
So do you want me to reach out then?
They were like, well, I don't know. I'm just letting you know that Barat specifically was like, you've had the Clandestine Wrestling Society on, you've had the Rads on, but yet we've never been on. And I was like, so he yelled at me, but yeah, blamed Pluggo. Shocking. So we need to figure that out. Get them on the show. I know Barat's a big basketball guy, so we could talk some hoops with him. But
I would be okay with that.
He told me to tell you that he likes you. He appreciates you. And that's probably my fault.
Let me tell you, Sheik. I know I'm not going to say this for kayfabe wise, but he's sweetheart of a man.
Sweetheart of a man. 100%.
Bought me one night we were up there. Bought me all my drinks. Couldn't believe it. But all right, we can make that work. I will reach out and work that way because I don't want to anger them. So
yeah,
I will.
We haven't been on Beards, and
I think we can make sure that works. I think we can make sure that works. So thank you for the heads up on that.
I'll be sick. I'll be sick that week.
Wow,
kidding.
Wow, unbelievable. All right, Pluggo.
It's perfect.
Do the damn thing. Good show tonight. Just the two of us. It's very rare nowadays that it's just the two.
Yeah.
I mean, we had visitors pop in. One of them to yell at me about how a movie that's not a baseball movie is a baseball movie. It makes no sense. And then the other one, my co-host, hijacking our show. God dang it!
That was awesome.
We're trying to have our opening night as a Christian podcast, and these people are causing chaos.
Right, our rebirth. We're born again Christians. Kristen Statlander. Christian Statlander.
Unbelievable. Causing chaos. What the hell's wrong with people? But on that note, do the thing, Pluggo. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find the show, and what you got coming up.
Okay.
The rest of the week, bud.
Like what I just jokingly said, but all seriousness, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Paralira was on For Exposure. We got to know them a little bit more in a non-kayfabe sense. You'll want to check that out. I also, if you want to know how I feel about powdered sugar, check out that episode.
What?
I didn't realize powdered sugar was. Anyway, just watch the episode. I apparently, for the first time in 38 years, didn't realize powdered sugar is just finely ground sugar.
Oh well, yeah, duh.
I
What do you think it was?
thought it was something else.
You thought it was something else?
Yeah. I thought it was fancy. Don't get me started. Anyway,
I'm not going to get you started, but you thought it was. What do you mean?
Yeah, Mrs. Pluggo's like it's just super finely ground
Yeah.
sugar, and I go,
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I go, I've been running out to the store to buy powdered sugar all this time. When I've had sugar at home, I could have just ground up in our blender.
Well, yeah, but you want the real stuff. You want the real stuff in the yellow and blue bag. You want the real stuff. You know,
for sure.
You know.
But either way, that episode will be on this very channel, 10 a.m. It's a pre-record, so if you're in the chat, say what's up. We will take care of that. I'll be in the chat. And then I have an interview on this channel right now with Andy Mack, the star of the show, ahead of tomorrow night's PWA Pass the Gravy. That's Marco Stunt's promotion. I went ahead and talked to him about wrestling Marco Stunt in his last match. Check that out as well. And then, Dustin, it comes from flowers. Duh.
Unbelievable.
Just kidding. But you can find me on all social media platforms at PLUGGO. Search PLUGGO. My face pops up. And then Between Two Beards, everything that we've got going on from the NFL stuff, preview stuff coming up, show guests, all of that at B2 Beards on all social media platforms. We might be adding a couple more of those platforms this weekend, so stay tuned for that. I think that is all that I have lined up.
All right. You can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. I am over on Blue Sky. A lot of our Love Wrestling, including Love Wrestling as a whole, a lot of us are over there. I know Pluggo and I are over there individually. He's kind of leaning towards it, but expect the Beards Blue Sky to happen at some point.
It's going to happen this weekend when I've got nothing going on while I'm watching college football.
Yeah,
it's a good slate.
We'll be a presence as the show over there. Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, 10 a.m. Talking WWE on Tuesdays, talking AEW on Thursdays with Drew Nicholas, the guy who took over this show, trying to get in my doghouse, just showing up like what the hell, dude.
But shout out to Ace Joe for the super chat. Shout out to Eric for the shout out to everybody in the chat tonight, keeping us going. This is why we do this show. You guys rule. Yeah. We love all the questions, the comments, the statements. You guys all rock. So thank you. Drew, do better. That's all I'm gonna say. But
what the hell, man? That is, at least you could just ask to be on the show. We'll let you on the show. You've been on the show before. What the hell are you doing that for? Especially when one of the people on this show is your co-host.
You got to say our goodbyes, but that's what happens when you get access. All of a sudden, you start doing things that you're not used to.
You get the ego. The ego
power.
Like, I can hit all.
Thank you. Oh, it's just me. Hi.
Just remember, it's always for the greater good. Forever and ever and ever.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you Two Beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourself.